Okay, so in today's video I have got part 2 of the Lego Harry Potter Diagon Alley Collector's Edition set. That's a bit of a mouthful. But yeah, if you want to see that, then keep on watching. Okay, so jumping right back in with book number 2. This one basically starts off exactly the same, with obviously putting all the little stones and bricks or whatever you want to call them on the base plate. So yeah, pretty much every single one starts with this base plate, and then obviously you just build up off of that. So in the end, the whole Diagon Alley set is basically like 4 of these base plates long. Yeah, I don't really know what's going on here. Something. Oh, this was when this was, if you watched the last video of this, I said about losing bags and thinking that I had a bunch of bits missing. So this was the time, I believe this was the first time that I did this. I think this happened a couple of times actually. So yeah, there was a tiny little number 6 bag in the bottom of the box that had like worked its way down basically. So yeah, I thought I was missing loads and loads of pieces, but it turns out I just hadn't opened the bag with all of those bits in. But yeah, I was getting quite frustrated when I did this, obviously thinking that I was missing loads of pieces, but luckily it was just my fault. I just didn't open my eyes and actually look properly. But yeah, luckily after we found that bag we could obviously continue on, because when I first started I literally thought that I was going to open the bag and then immediately have to stop because I was going to have to contact Lego and get a bunch of pieces sent out. But no, like I say, luckily it was just my fault. I just didn't look properly. So yeah, we obviously started with this one with the base of outside. And if I remember correctly, this is the one where the shop windows kind of come out a little bit. So it kind of feels like the pathway on this one is a little bit sort of wider than the previous one, but it's actually just because the shop windows don't actually connect to the ground. They come out sort of like bay windows, and yeah, they look really cool actually. I really like how they turn out and how they look. They definitely look sort of like the old sort of fashioned like city type shops, I guess, where you have like a basement underground, but the basement has like a weird window that kind of looks out to nowhere. It reminds me of that. I feel like you see that a lot in London. But yeah, that is what it reminds me of. And I believe by the fact that I've just made a mannequin, this is the Quidditch supply shop. So there's obviously loads of mannequins and different things like bookshelves and whatever else put on display in this shop. So yeah, I did enjoy building these, but as always with these tiny little like fiddly bits that take ages to build, they do get a little bit repetitive and annoying sometimes to build, but yeah, they always end up looking great in the end, and definitely worth adding the extra little details, and yeah, you know, making the effort to put the details in. Although obviously when it's on display I'm literally not going to see any of these details whatsoever, but it is nice to know that they're there. Obviously it makes sort of the length of the build a little bit longer, so if you was like normal and didn't do it how I do it, and you actually spread it out and maybe did like a bag a day or something similar to that, then it probably would be a little bit more enjoyable. But I sort of start at a certain time and then finish at a certain time and try and get as much done as I possibly can. And at this point I was I don't think I was working at this point. I think I was off ill. So I literally spent all day building Lego. So I would literally start at like maybe 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon, and then I wouldn't finish until like midnight, maybe like 2-3 in the morning. Obviously I would eat and stuff in between, so it wasn't like constant, but it wasn't far from it. It was definitely a lot of Lego being built. So yeah, after I built this set I didn't build Lego for a very long time, and I actually still have sets now that I haven't opened from this time, because basically I got bored of building Lego after building this set. and yeah, I just kind of pushed it off to the side. But I'm slowly working my way through those sets. They're in my wardrobe currently, and I think I have maybe 6 or 7 to build. So I have a couple newer ones that I didn't have at this point. So we have the mini forks that came out this year, and another one of the June 1st sets, and then I have one that came out, I believe, June 1st last year, possibly around that time, and then the rest of them are way older and retired by now. 2 of them that I have are brickheads that were retired at the time that I bought them, but I just bought, they weren't like second-hand sets, they weren't opened or anything, but yeah, the sets were retired from the Lego website when I bought them. But I have the Harry, Hermione, Ron and Hagrid brickhead set, and then I also have the Voldemort, Bellatrix and Nagini brickhead set. So if you want to see me do those, please let me know which one you would like to see me do first. But yeah, I'm definitely trying to work my way back through those older Lego sets before I sort of buy any new ones or do any new ones. But I have recently moved them. I've had a little bit of a declutter and a shuffle around, and I've put them in the part of the wardrobe that I open every single day so that they are looking at me every day and I can't ignore them. So I can hopefully get them done. And then obviously get them on display and get the boxes out of my wardrobe, because once I've built them, all of my boxes go in a big box up in the loft. So yeah, I can make some more room to buy some more Lego probably. But yeah, I'm also trying to declutter the rest of my room so that I can either buy so that I can reshuffle a few things, so that I can either buy the collector's edition Hogwarts, or so that I can buy the collector's edition Hogsmeade when that comes out. I do want both of them, and I feel like Hogsmeade is maybe a little bit more achievable because obviously that can be split up, similar to how Diagon Alley can be split up. It obviously doesn't really make sense to be like that. Obviously it makes sense to be one cohesive line of shops, but if you really wanted to, then you could split them up, similar to how you can with Hogsmeade. You can have those all as sort of one line of shops, or you could split them up as well. So yeah, I'm just currently trying to sort of declutter and decide what I want to do and where I want to have things so that I can actually buy it eventually. But yeah, we shall see. But if you do want to see me do either one of those, please let me know which one you want to see me do, and then that'll maybe sway me one way or the other as to which one to buy. I do always look at the Hogwarts Castle, to be fair, because it goes on offer in Smiths all the time. Sometimes it's not actually that great of an offer, but sometimes there's like £50 or £60 off of it, which I know it's still like a really expensive set, but I feel like a saving of £50 or £60 is quite good, considering Lego doesn't really tend to go on offer that often. I mean, when I looked at the Lego site the other day, they literally still have Christmas 2024 sets on there because obviously they didn't sell and they're not on offer or anything. So yeah, you know, it doesn't really go on offer very often. So when it does and it's about £50 or £60, then I feel like it's definitely worth it. So yeah, I do always look at that set, but I'm just trying to sort of create some room to be able to put it. But then obviously with the Hogsmeade set, with it being able to be split up, I feel like that's a little bit more achievable, because even if I don't have it all together, I can obviously split it and put the different buildings in different places, like where I do have room. So that is definitely an option. But yeah, I've definitely got to make up my mind and decide what I'm going to do before it comes out, because if I am going to get it, I do want to try and get it sort of on release so that I can get the gift with purchases with it as well. That's what I did with the Burrow, and I got the gift with purchases for those, and I really like the magnet that came with that, and I believe the Hogsmeade set has another one of the collectible magnets. So yeah, me being me, I want the other magnet as well to go with my Burrow one. But yeah, we shall see, because it is still a very expensive set. Even though it is cheaper than the Hogwarts Castle, it's not that much cheaper. But yeah, we will see what we manage to do, and obviously if I do manage to get it, then keep your eyes peeled, because there will be a video on it very soon after I get it, I would presume. Obviously with it being a collector's set, there probably will be more than one part to that video, so yeah, make sure that you subscribe and come back and see if we do get that set or not. And even if we don't get that set, I've still got plenty more Lego videos coming, plenty more to do, plenty more already filmed. So yeah, make sure that you subscribe if you enjoy Lego videos as well. And yeah, I would definitely work a bit harder on getting some more out. I do kind of try to sort of variate my content a little bit, so it's not just like constantly Lego, or you know, constantly one thing and nothing of something else. I do try and do that a little bit. It's not always possible. It just kind of depends on what I have filmed at the time and what I have going on. If I've built loads of Lego recently, obviously you're going to get loads of Lego videos. But yeah, I do try to mix it up a little bit. Especially with my new sort of like Draw With Me series type thing, that mixes it up from the 365 Days of Art Challenge, and it mixes it up for me as well, because not every week I want to do a 365 Days of Art Challenge, but most of the time I will be doing a drawing or something like that. And yeah, I'm going to be getting loads of prints done of my artwork, and then getting them up on a website somewhere, either a website or Etsy or somewhere like that. So my art prints will actually be available sometime soon, hopefully. But yeah, I just need to find somewhere that I can get them printed that I actually like the print quality. So yeah, just sort of trial and error with that at the moment. But yeah, anyway, as you can see here, we are almost at the end of this building. So this one was definitely a lot quicker than the previous one, and there's definitely a lot less detail in there. Obviously most of this most of this building is the Quidditch supply store, and then I believe the one next door is like the Daily Profit, like post office type thing. So yeah, it's not very big. But yeah, this one, it didn't take as long, like I said, and probably the most interesting thing about this one is the windows. There's not much else on this that is very interesting. It is basically just a big pink wall. But yeah, this one was still fun to build, and yeah, I like the fact that it didn't take as long, so I felt like I got halfway through this big set a lot quicker. Obviously now we've got 2 buildings done, so we are halfway there. But yeah, we will be back next week for part 3, and at that point it definitely feels like we're getting close to finishing. So yeah, that was this one this week. So that was everything that we got done in part 2. If you want to see part 3, make sure that you like, comment and subscribe, and come back next week for part 3. But other than that, I will see you next time. Bye!